Nothing has become in the absolute, but it is the mother of all. It does have this endless creative outflow. That's everything we see around us. And its outflow is not like it flows out and it's in somehow other. It's not other at all. It's exactly the same thing, but it's a different aspect, you see. And that's the world. That's the world. In that world of time and space, this one where we all look around, that world. Of course, if we look in to the absolute, there's also simultaneously that pure, sacred, everlasting, infinite potential. And there's also constant change, constant becoming. Right now, all this is part of one's experience if we only have the eyes to see it. As I said, simply returning to the absolute, it may actually solve a lot of our difficulties with the whole world of relationship and becoming. Because so many of our difficulties in the world of becoming have to do with deep states of confusion and fear, especially fear of death. If we return to this absolute nature, then if we really return, fully return, then certainly our fear of death disappears. It's one of those nice byproducts, you know. But it does not necessarily, even though it can go a great way towards clarifying the world of relationship, it is not the solution to the whole world of relationship. Because in the absolute nature, everything could just blow up, completely disappear. And the absolute nature of reality would be completely unaffected. Wouldn't even know that it happened. Because in that space, nothing ever happens. Nothing ever happens. I couldn't explain that to anybody. But that's the strangeness of it. Nothing ever happens. Even while everything's happening, nothing's ever happening. So that's the paradox. When you actually experience that absolute, the Godhead, even when there's so much happening, your experience is there's a lot happening, but there's absolutely nothing happening. One can't explain that philosophically. I could never make sense of it in my mind and give it to you. It's just something that you come to know and experience. So in the absolute, nothing ever happens in that part of its nature, but then the world of becoming. And this becomes much more challenging in a certain sense, you know. Waking up, what you're doing is you're waking up from your whole conditioned being. You're realizing that it's not separate from you. Your humanity isn't separate or other from what you are. It's just that it doesn't contain and hold your identity. That's what it means to say, to realize I'm not the body, I'm not the mind. It doesn't mean the body gets discarded as a nothing, as a worthless thing that we just don't pay any attention to, or the mind is worthless. That's a deep misunderstanding. It doesn't mean that. It simply means that your identity is no longer housed in the prison of the mind. It's no longer limited to the body. That's very different, isn't it? You see, than degrading the body or degrading the mind. Right? Because remember, it's all one. It's all one, you see. So the body can't be other than you. But if your identity is housed in a single body or a single mind, then you feel that containment, that's a certain sense of isolation, simply because it's not true to your nature, to your deepest nature. So, in the whole world of becoming, in the world of time and space, form, here we are, we're sitting in this room. This is what I mean by time and space. That may sound like an abstract way of saying it, but if you have any doubts, this is it. World of time and space, form and change, of becoming, the creative aspect of the infinite. Here it is. So when we flow back out, as this is always happening in and out, just like breathing, then this is also seen, recognized as what it is, this world. This is that.